Hello, my name is Hisaki and I am an international preschool teacher teaching kindergarten kids in Japan. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my part-time job and full-time jobs experiences teaching kids in Japan. How did I get all of my part-time and full-time jobs was the website Gaijin Pod, and I've been using the site all the time. I think it's the most popular one and maybe the best one for it. I had 2 full-time jobs and I had 3 baitous. First, about English teaching jobs in Japan. The title English teacher is very broad in here. There are various types of school in Japan that teach English different ways. For example, I had job teaching English to kids by dancing, cheer dancing. I had afternoon school. I had kindergarten that really studied properly, and just a school that doesn't really teach English and it's just caretaking in English. Yeah, it's vastly different. My part-time jobs given me the experience that I needed to actually find a full-time job. Oh, and there is also something called dispatch jobs, which I really personally don't like, but basically they dispatch you to schools and you can be working every day in a different school, or a company actually almost like lends you to a school to teach there. So basically you're employed by a different company but you work in a different company. Yeah, various types of jobs. Now let's get to my experience. I talked about the 3 part-time jobs. That was English, dance, cheerleading, teaching, afternoon school, and kindergarten international school. My full-time jobs experience is same. Is from one part-time job. I went into a full-time position, which was the international kindergarten, and also the caretaking. Okay, so first, the history. My first full-time job was this job in East Tokyo. I live in Yokohama and it was quite far away. I was taking 3 trains to get there. It was an hour and a half. But I thought it's very much worth it because I really liked the school. The teaching English was amazing. The colleagues were amazing. The boss was amazing. The environment, I really fit in. But there were few red flags that, like, little by little increased. Well, that's what I'm here to talk about. This job was really good for actually teaching English. The school was really great, the kids were great, but they did not pay any overtime, which I later found out is illegal in Japan. Ugh. Yeah, they did not pay any overtime. They just told me like it's the overtime hours are gonna go into my future hours of the next month or something. So that was the first red flag. Second red flag, I don't think they paid all of my train expenses, which your company is supposed to cover all of your travel expenses in here. Right now, in my experience, if a company doesn't cover your full train expenses, they are going to be stingy with money. Another red flag, we were severely underpaid. The salaries in Japan are low, and normal, like I would say, you should not go under minimum salary that you should be looking for in Japan is with 250,000, which is around 1,500 in pounds. That's the minimum you should be going for. This job paid even less. As I mentioned, I got this job from being employed there part-time. So after 3 months of probation, I was offered a full-time position to work there. So yeah, there had to be 3 months of probation. Another step was that on probation, those 3 months, they were making me work full-time for part-time salary. Ta-da! Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was working full-time for a part-time salary. And they did not mention that up front. They told me I'm going to be working full-time and this is gonna be my full-time salary. And later I was looking at my payslip like, what, the part-time salary? There was actually visa pressure that made me stay in this job. It was a little complicated situation. Okay, I will try to explain it. After I quit my language school because I got to Japan with on a student visa, I needed to find a full-time job in 3 months. Well, it can take up to 3 months to find a job in Japan. Luckily, since I was already in probation and working there part-time, they accepted me quickly into a full-time job position. But they took advantage of the time pressure that I've been in, and they made me pay for a lawyer that will make the application for a full-time job visa in Japan, and it was not cheap. I needed full-time job ASAP because of the transition from student visa to full-time job visa. I had 3 months for it, but during those 3 months you could not work at all. And since I could not work at all, I wouldn't have no income, so I could not pay my rent. So I needed to do the transition right away. So my student visa ends and right away I'm going to be working full-time. Since this time pressure, since this situation happened, they took advantage of it, and after they accepted me, they made me pay for the lawyer, which usually company sponsors your visa and does your application with you. And you are not supposed to pay for a lawyer. The application is very, very complicated, so without the lawyer, I would just not get the visa because they were not doing it for me. But I wanted to really, really stay in Japan, so I said, okay, I will pay for the lawyer so I can stay in Japan. But yeah, it was quite a shock that I had to pay around $1,000 to just stay in Japan. Usually you don't pay for your visa, but I kind of had to pay for my visa. Like without a lawyer, I would not be able to do the application at all. It's really difficult to get accepted for the first time for your full-time visa. So if they were not willing to do it for me, I would not be able to do it alone by myself. That happened. That just happened. More red flags. Colleagues were quitting on the spot. Colleagues were changing really quickly. People were quitting really quickly. But yeah, they were treating me really well, so I was like, not believing all of this. That all made me question, like, are you really treating me so well when you're not really paying me enough? Probably not, right? Like, this school was great, but the financial situation was just so stingy. I was extremely exhausted from all the travel, so in the end, no matter how amazing the school was, I quit this job to actually search for a job in Yokohama. Thanks to this, I gained around 1 year of experience, and I had my visa, which your working visa are independent and belong to you. They don't depend on the company at all. Yeah, I had my working visa, I had experience, and I applied to another job, this time in Yokohama where I live. I luckily managed to pay all of my debts, but I had literally no money left, but I was left with experience. This job in Yokohama is very different. I am working with much younger kids, and it's basically a nursery, a kindergarten that speaks English. We don't teach English at all, but I am an English teacher. Take it as you want. This time the company is really proper and they pay overtime, and the pay is amazing. Well, amazing. The pay is amazing compared to my previous job, which left me with no money. The pay is normal. So honestly, as a person coming from non-English speaking country, I think my British diploma, vital experience, and the fact that I already had a working visa kind of saved me, because this job I also found on Gajinpot, but the difference was they would not accept me if I did not already have a working visa. And there are a lot of companies with this kind of rule, like they will not accept you if you don't already have a visa. Like they don't want to go through the big application process with you. There are some companies that can accept you without working visa, but you have to have a bachelor degree, you have to have either experience or some kind of certificates. It's very hard to come here with nothing and suddenly get into a job. So yeah, my general advice would be not to come here with nothing. If you want to teach, if you want to find an English teaching job in Japan, like have some kind of experience, have a certificate, or be a native speaker. Like that's so easy for them. Like honestly, just be a native speaker and they will accept you. Yeah, many jobs are like that. The native speaker English jobs also come with higher salary. So yeah, that's a fact I just have to accept and I can't do anything about. I can't really give advice about searching for jobs when you can speak in Japanese. Then your options are broader. Basically, you can get into an office job or some kind of administrative, whatever, translating job. But yeah, I can't speak Japanese that much yet. So I am basically stuck with English teaching so far. Also about applying for full-time visa in Japan. Basically, it's a very difficult process, and even the smallest mistake can get you rejected, and then you have to wait some time to reapply again. So in the end, I think without a lawyer, with my experience, it would be difficult in general to get a working visa anyways. So I'm not anymore as salty about it as I've been before, but yeah, there are companies that will just sponsor a visa without paying. So if you have money, you can hire a lawyer and it's kind of guaranteed you're gonna get the visa. But if you don't, it's up to you and your company, and if they make a mistake, it's gonna be a problem. My visa was issued for a year, and after I changed my job, I had to tell the immigration about it. It can be done online through a formula. That was easy, but renewing my visa was not so easy again because I changed jobs. If you don't change jobs, it's easier, but I changed jobs, so there was a lot of documents that I did not know about. I had to bring, that my company neither didn't know, that I had to bring forward. So it took like 2 visits to the immigration office. Now I'm happily living in Yokohama, working full-time on a working visa. After quitting my first job and after beginning my new job, it kind of feels like I began everything again. That's just my situation. They generally say like financially you're gonna be steady after a year in Japan. Like it's gonna take time to finally be able to save money, not only to get by. One con of working full-time in Japan is that the work kind of becomes your life, and I stopped doing many of my hobbies. And yeah, the work environment is really important because they're the people you're gonna be with whole day, and if you don't fit with few of them, you're gonna get really unhappy about it, and it's gonna be mentally very exhausting. That's why I was so happy about my first job and could not believe the red flags, because the environment was just great, and I heard horror stories about the environments in Japan, which actually I do have a little problem in my current job. Yeah, environment, people, they're very important. So yeah, this was my journey with jobs. Anything that I did not say? Maybe pros and cons about teaching English in Japan. Pros are, if you get a good school, it can be really fun. If you like kids, it can be really fun job. that allows you to be creative as well, like you do crafts, you do games with the kids. If you don't like kids, you can work with adults, but for that, I would say native speaking plus certificate is required way more than with working with kids. If I stay in this job or not, well, let's see. It depends on the environment. It's gonna be changing a little now. So yeah, anything else I should say? Well, leave me some questions if you have them. I might answer them in the comments. And yeah, this was my experience with English teaching jobs in Japan as a non-native English speaker coming from Europe. And it's been a journey. Yeah, thank you for watching this video and hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.